Yeah, before the world engulfs me in so many duties, bodily duties, japa duties, so many duties and everything. I was just sitting here and feeling how it's very logical. If I am a soul, and of course I'm made of many thousands of souls who are acting in different positions. Some are acting as my feet, some are acting in so many ways. But if that is true, and my soul is never, it has never left, it has never left eternality. It's always been there. So in a microcosmic way, to be actually in that eternal realm, there must be some trace of everything that's in the cosmos. Everything in the cosmos is, it's actually called a apparently separately manifested substance. Apparently separately. It's actually never separated. But that apparently separated has some qualities to it. But I have all those qualities within my soul. And all the souls that make my body up, they have those qualities in the cosmos. You know, microcosmos way. But still there. So, just thinking of the time factor. Time factor is what controls the time. Time is eternal, but separately manifested positions of time, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, they project a time factor that is different. So if that has any truth to it, then within my body is also the time factors. So if one examines things, coming down, you know, the scale from from what is spiritual into the false ego and down all the way to earth, my major manifestation that's controlling all my activities by force, even having to go to the bathroom and eating and this and that and the other, is earth. So with that in mind, it's a barrier for me. Earth is a barrier for me. I cannot do things that, or enter into and be in that atmosphere of something that is not within this realm of earth. So that's my barrier. And my barrier must have a constant. It must have a constant that can be measured. And for the most part, the people measure the constant of earth as the speed of light. So my ability is stopped at that barrier of the speed of light. That's my ability. And I'm dominated by that. My lifetime is dominated by that. But within my existence, there's also the aspect of mind. It has a different time factor. It doesn't have the same time factor as Earth. And it can some way, and I wish I had a person that was studying this, some way, it can be measured by the electrical flow within the body. By different, in other words, different electrical flows. It is not that the electron is going the same in every way. The electrical flow on the plane of the mind is much faster. You could say it's like Earth is a real Kali Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga is mind. But it also has its barrier. The constant of the mind, I can't imagine it, but there must be a constant that can measure it also. And the constant is the speed that the time factor is the speed that atoms combine and atoms, go away from each other. So that speed in which they combine and they destroy each other, that is the time factor. So the time factor of Earth, it's easy for me. I can tell you that I'm controlled by the barrier of the speed of light. And the time factor of the mind is definitely faster. And it can be detected within my existence, my body. My body is giving off. And then the time factor of Treta Yuga, that would be the time factor of the intelligence. And the intelligence is much faster, much subtle, more subtle. So the combination and everything is in a longer space of time. The time factor is different, definitely is different. And then the time factor of the false ego could be the Satya Yuga age. So they've never actually left. I have aspects of Satya Yuga. It's when this earthly body is deteriorated, I'm carried to another body. And how am I carried to the other body? I'm carried to the other body in the factor of the mind, the intelligence, and the false ego. I've given up the earthly body, but I have not given those up. So I have to have the aspects of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga within my existence. I have to have it. For me actually to say that, yes, I'm an eternal soul, and I'm made up of eternal souls. And those eternal souls also have those aspects. They're eternal souls. They are just, and it's hard to even say, apparently separately manifested. It never has been separately manifested. It has never, reductionism is destructionism. when the Mayavadis try to reduce everything and pull everything apart, they're actually just destroying things. So we don't have to go through that to know that we are eternal, and to know that everything that is in our existence is eternal. It's just playing a different part at this moment. And in an amazing way. Okay. Someone could study and see how they can actually measure the different, because they're barriers. I cannot enter into the mind I can use my mind, I can use my intelligence, I can use my false ego, and I use it pretty badly. But to enter into it and to leave the earthly plane, I cannot do that. I'm, I'm like the animal tied to the post. Yeah, I'm like the animal tied to the post. That's actually what the Purusha Shuktam says. That the demigods took a rope and they tied the only sacrificial animal with Vishnu himself. So they tied Vishnu to the post. But we are tied to the post. Yeah. So, yeah, leave it at that. Today is Ganga Dasara. It's the Shukla Paksha. In other words, the waxing moon, 10th day of the waxing moon, and it's the Ganga's reaching the Bay of Bengal. So I'll leave it at that.